Welcome back to the How We Feel podcast, where we sit down with people who move the music industry behind the curtain. Today, we have another good one. Today's guest is a man who spent decades shaping the live music business, a man who helped artists get from the van and trailer days all the way to sold-out tours across the world. We're talking about one of the top booking agents in the game and co-founder of 33 and West Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dan Rozenblum.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, certainly excited. Definitely super happy.
Thanks for giving us your time. I know you're super fucking busy.
That's cool. No, I appreciate you guys. That's
Big
cool.
day in Cleveland.
I'm really glad that it's you guys doing this too. That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, it's
Got acid bath today at the Agora.
Yeah, super excited. This is actually my first time in Cleveland.
No way.
Yeah, first time in Cleveland ever, and obviously goes without saying first time at the Agora. So.
Yeah. Dude, welcome. It feels like home in Cleveland. You know, it's a cool family atmosphere around here and stuff like that.
I always feel like, Chris Z for 25 years or something like that.
Damn, wow.
Yeah, speaking of Chris Z, thanks Chris Z for letting us use the office here.
Appreciate it.
Man. Can't thank you enough for that. We had him on the first podcast last week.
Yeah, I want to watch that one too.
Appreciate him.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's the homie. We love Chris. We love this place. So can't say enough. But we want to. We'll get into it. So I just want to kind of start at the beginning of what pulled you into the music industry. In the moment you realized this is what I want to do. Where did that come
Great
from?
starting question, for everybody.
For sure. It's like I feel like some people like seek out certain things like it's like, oh, I'm going to go to school for psychology, maybe a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually what I went to college for at first.
Oh wow.
But and then like you detour and you don't even realize that you're detouring, So went to I was in high school, I was in bands and stuff. We played out and like one show or two shows in, this manager comes over and is like, hey, what did the manager band? And you're like,
right, yeah.
It's
the fun of it.
But went to college at Florida State, and the first day of school, I it's like the common areas where people like congregate and like just the cafeteria and stuff, and I'm wearing a Slayer hat and a Bad Religion T-shirt, and these two dudes come over, they're twins, and they're all like 90s skatered out, with the big baggy pants and stuff, and I can't remember what shirt he was wearing. One of them was wearing, but they're like, "Whoa, Bad Religion Slayer!" It's like not necessarily like in the same bucket, but we went to eat, and those are my two best friends to this day.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I love stories like that.
That was 1993.
No shit.
Yeah, and but anyway, so we formed a band, in college, the first year of school, and that was an era before like emailing or
before the MySpace took over.
Yeah, exactly right. So we started a band, and we were playing out shows in town and what have you. And
what did you play? I'm just
I
curious.
play guitar. Yeah,
that's what I wondered too. I was like, are you the vocalist? What were you?
No.
Guitar. Hell yeah.
I wish I've been taking singing lessons just for my own satisfaction. But
that's cool.
No, terrible singer. But,
Me too.
But so
see behind the drums.
I'm gonna be back here. Yeah. So I play guitar, and they didn't even know how to play instruments, and so like I taught them how to play.
Wow.
My two best friends, and so we started this band. It's like shitty, like noise, punky, whatever, metallic, experimentally, whatever blob of music. But we're like, spring break was coming around or whatever, and so we're like, oh, let's go on tour. And so I'm like, I don't know how to do that, right? And so like I asked this guy who was a promoter in our town. I'm like, so, like, if we wanted to go on tour, like, how do you go about that? And he was like, well, like, what's your destination? And I was like, I don't know, I like to play in New York, whatever. So like he plotted this out. He's like, so giving me the basic like, oh, what, like logically you would have come. I should have come up with it myself. But like you go from one city to the next, to the next, to the next, and then you go back down.
Figure
right?
out how they connect. Yeah.
Right. And so, he's like, so I'll give you the names of some venues, right? Call them. And these are probably the places you'd want to play, and like he just knew like the club scene, right?
And that was straight phone calling back then too,
Totally.
right? Just what's up? And so, we want to come to your
right. So I knew some bands from other towns from playing in our town, because we started doing show swapping too, right? So like we weren't just playing in our own town; we were doing playing Savannah or Atlanta or whatever, and like swapping shows. Hey, you guys come play our city, cool. And then hey, do you guys want to come play with us in on March 7th or whatever it was.
Right.
So you start getting this network, and then so you call this band and be like, hey, do you know somebody in Raleigh or North Carolina or whatever? They'd give you the number, and so you call, hey, Joe, Susie gave me your number from in Savannah, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. Like so, like this whole circuit came about, right? Of like band friends, right?
Right.
And so you booked this tour, and we ended up playing like CBGB our very first time to play in New York, right? So,
Legendary.
But the thing was, right? It was like, you had to call, and there was no call waiting, right?
Yeah, back then too.
Right.
Shit.
This is on landline, right?
Yeah.
And especially a club, if somebody's there, are they gonna even pick up? Like,
right, and they had a booking office hours. So like,
oh wow,
they had booking hours. You'd find out on the website, or because there wasn't internet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4.
That's neat.
And that was it. And so everybody was calling on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4.
Get those.
Trying to get through the line, but like
Right.
2 hours goes by real quick.
Sure.
Right. So fortunately you get the person on the phone.
Wow.
They're like, yeah, send in a tape. And or a CD or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
and,
back in the
and so you
tapes, right?
You say
early 90s
or
you said?
whatever, tapes, CDs, whatever. And so you sent your demo or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You send music in. You wait, 2
Just
weeks.
out of curiosity, what was that band called?
It was called Cream Abdul Babar.
nice.
So cream like CR, like cream in your coffee.
Like the what is it, basketball player?
Yeah, and
Is
then
that
Babar the elephant.
Nice.
It's the most horrific pun ever.
That's fun.
It was
That's
terrible.
awesome.
Yeah.
We just learned about Chris on the last podcast that he was also in a band that I
No
didn't
way.
know. Yeah, he played bass.
Yeah, same.
That's
with
why I
me.
asked. I never knew.
And we had
He looks
known
like
him a
bass
long
player.
time,
Now
too.
you say it, you're like, oh yeah, you look like a bass player.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Same
Yeah.
with you. So booking your band's first tour was essentially your introduction to the music
Yeah,
industry.
so the short version of it is like, so I did that, and then we did it again, we did it again, we did it again, right? But at the same time, I was also like running a record store. I opened an all ages DIY venue. I was booking, if shows that were not appropriate for there, we would put them in the venue.
So you went full into it though, like as it happens, came
And it was running on the
about.
the radio station too. So I was running the metal show and stuff. So like my connectivity got, national, right? So like
That's
I was
neat.
talking to people in New York and Chicago, like radio promo guys, right? Some of them I still speak to this day. They just do different things, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
so this network, like from like labels talking for the record store, yada yada yada, and but this weird era of bands, like when I was doing the all ages venue, they didn't have agents, so you talk to this band that was like on Epitaph, like you talk to the band,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
because they were
just
calling you
figure it
asking
out.
to book a show on their own tour,
Right.
And so like, and people started like, hey, who booked your tour? For who's booking your stuff? And I'm like, oh, I do. And they're like, will you do that for us? I'm like, yeah. And so, I don't know. Next thing I know, I turned around and I had like 7 or 8 bands
Everyone needed
on my
one.
roster. This is like 1999 or something. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a booking agent, right?
Now I'm this guy.
And then, but not where you can quit your day job level, right? But eventually it was like, to my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna quit my job and just do this. And she's like, I was like, think about it, if I could do this all day long instead of like on the side, right? And she's like, okay, all
That's
right.
cool support.
And you went in
too.
for it there.
Yeah. And
Wasn't
so-
like, no, don't do it. It was like, yeah, dude.
yeah,
That's sweet
it
though.
was like you have a year,
Yeah.
right? But a year didn't turn out to like whatever. But
Here we are.
yeah, so like it was just by like accident. So just because I had a band and started booking my own shit, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was it.
So you're from Florida then it was, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Florida.
Okay,
And then
cool.
Went to Florida.
So
State.
that's where all this originated was
Yeah,
Florida in
Tallahassee.
the early years.
Tallahassee, Florida.
Nice.
Tallahassee?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Nice.
Trying to think, I've never toured there that I can recall. Probably at some point. I remember like Orlando, Jacksonville, a bunch of other places touring through there. And one time I remember being on tour, forget what month it was, but I saw snow there actually in Jacksonville come down. And we were like, dude, we're on tour, hungry in the van. It's fucking snowing in Florida.
snowing.
This
Yeah.
sucks. This is crazy. But
Well, Tallahassee. They also call it South Georgia too.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it
it's
was-
like,
I remember that experience.
yeah, it's cool.
Did you have any other jobs early on in the music industry? I mean, you just said you owned a venue at one point. Is that right?
Yeah, so I rented an all ages.
you rented it.
and then I booked and was friends with I'd book shows at the other venue, just not as an employee. I'd just be like the promoter.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was a director at the college radio station WVFS, which was like renowned college station. But they
Wow.
had like a really, really, really prominent metal show.
Was it?
So I took that over for like 6 years or so.
So always just somewhat of entertainment,
and all
music.
this stuff is all at the same time too.
Yeah.
And that's neat to be able to tap in, I guess, and circle those worlds on radio. Did you bring through some of those acts that you worked on radio or played through?
Yeah, I mean,
or
it was
did
like,
they cross?
it was like, like you get like, the new Exhumed record or whatever, or like it might be, anything from Static X to, I don't know, like the new King Diamond album or,
Sick.
yeah. So that was like mid-late 90s and early
That's neat.
2000s and stuff.
So I wanted to ask, what was one big mistake when you first started getting into tour booking that ended up being a great lesson? That you still mentioned it?
They're all good lessons, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you fuck something up, like you're like, well, especially since I didn't have a mentor, right? So
Just
all
figured it out
self-taught.
along the way.
self-taught, yeah. So like you fuck up shit,
Yeah.
And so you'd get like somebody like at an agency, like it'd be like Tim Bohr or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he had the agency group at the time, and he's like,
The legend.
we'd get I'd get a tour offer, right, for support, right, for one of my bands or whatever, and so you get this itinerary. I'm like, oh, look at all these contacts I didn't have before, right?
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
was always
yeah.
cool because you're like, oh, okay, cool. So you added, Rolodex expanding, but I've sent like the money itinerary like out to like everyone before.
Oh, and they all saw.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're like,
Really?
you're not
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
fucking send the money.
Right, what are you
Sorry.
doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No,
So
I've done
that's
shit
probably
like that.
a big
and learned.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say the same thing too. I've done that before, though. I mean, get
Yeah.
those Rolodex and things like that. Try to utilize, grow off
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
contacts where possible, and figure things out. I mean, I feel like that's a good way of making connections too, without trying to step on toes, obviously, and stuff
Totally.
along the
yeah.
way. But
I mean, but I think like people are like, I don't know anybody that's like coy with like their contacts. It's like, hey man, I feel
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
best thing is like if you don't know something, like just ask.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
true.
People get so like weirded out about like this posturing of like, like act like they know something. It's like, well, I mean,
Like gatekeeping.
yeah, or just like afraid to ask for stuff. Yeah, and it's like, hey man, I don't have anybody in like, I don't know, Boise or whatever.
Right.
Like ask somebody.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So for people that don't fully understand what exactly a booking agent does on the day-to-day, explain that to the people. Like,
Okay.
what's your job entail these days?
So in a nutshell, I'd say like when you're sitting at Thanksgiving and your aunt's like, so Dan, what do you do again? You work with the booking, and,
The family,
Yeah.
right?
And
Sum it up.
we've all had the same thing. It's like, what exactly do you do,
1000%.
Brian? And
A little bit of everything.
right. And so I was like, okay.
Depends what day.
So the band, like, let me pick one that you know. U2, right? Oh yeah, I know U2. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So U2 has a person or persons that every concert they play in the entire on the entire planet, or specifically for me, like based primarily North America,
Yeah, yeah.
they have someone that sets up those shows for them, right? And they aren't the ones that are on the venue side. They field opportunities for the band, for U2, right? And so like
For routing the tour.
riding the tour and then negotiating their dates for them, right?
Getting
So-
paid.
And then and like the catering or like the time, like having in the situation as best as possible, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean money, right? It's just but in a nutshell, yes. Like when somebody's like, "Oh, what's a booking agent do?" They are responsible for every live engagement that an artist plays
They take
on the side of the artist.
yeah. Take the circus on the road and
So
try to keep
everything,
them
you're-
organized.
You're the one directly working with the tour managers to make sure
Right.
everything is set.
Right.
From routing the
And
dates
so we
to
don't do
catering
we don't
to-
do the trucks. We don't do the production stuff. Right?
Okay.
Don't do that. It's all that's not in my purview.
Okay.
Right.
Sometimes that blend management and booking agency booking agent bleeds right
Into some production things,
blend over into the other. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But technically speaking, that's not right.
What was the first tour you booked ever besides your band? Like
Shit.
what was the first thing you routed?
I don't even know if I remember. Oh yeah, I think it was this band. Pretty sure that was the first one. A band called Mira, Mira. They were like a shoegaze band on Project Records. It was kind of like a pretty prominent goth label. So to
Okay.
speak.
Yeah, I never had heard of that. I don't think.
No, I can't. I was trying to. The name almost sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean. It was,
Yeah, I'm just always curious about
Yeah.
where it started and how.
Yeah.
Where
What
it
about
began
you?
for. What was that?
Like as far as like the first band that you worked with in any capacity.
My own. I
Yeah.
think it's similar situation. It started with just booking my own band shows. Probably same with you. And
Yeah, it
just
totally
we
was.
started at like the town hall type places we're renting
VFWs,
out, the
dude, yeah.
VSWs, yeah, doing those type of shows, and slowly progressed until, working at bigger venues and things like that. I think with you, I think probably the first show I booked with you was Whitechapel or ICP.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah,
Back in, it's been a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
10, 12 years ago.
But even that,
something
it's
like
been all trial and error, of like doing that stuff, booking, learning
Was
the hard
learning.
way.
Yeah, and, like-
winning and losing. A
Yeah,
lot of
like
losing.
learning like what works and what doesn't, and it's like, and
Yeah.
like I think like we all like as people on the come up to you're eager to like have these new experiences and stuff, and like there's missteps that happen with that too,
Yeah.
like oh yeah, I'm gonna go try this thing of like brand a tour myself, and it's like like the idea is cool, but like you don't have like the resources to like
Yeah.
properly do it,
Yeah.
And so like you end up botching some shit, and you're like, ugh.
What do you think some of the biggest mistakes bands make are trying to book early routing tours for themselves early on in their career, doing it themselves, the DIY style? What do you think some of the big mistakes are some early bands make?
Well, I think it's about a matter of like metered expectation is I think like the biggest thing. Like it's a psychological thing, right? Because they're all like, hey, all right, cool. We want to get an agent, and it's like, no, you don't need one, right? I think like the motto is like the advice is like do everything that you can do in every capacity as far as you can go yourself without relying on somebody else. And then when somebody else comes to the table, you'd be like, well, what can you do for me that I can't do myself? Right. So you've just elevated your whole game. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think like as far as like mistakes are concerned, I don't know if I don't necessarily want to phrase anything like that. I would just say like, advice for like the positive, like in the more positive range.
Well, let's go that direction. What do you think? Like, what is some advice from a seasoned booking agent to early bands out there routing their own tour? What would you give them?
Make friends with bands in other cities.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, like
Show
that
trades
network
and-
thing, like that was
Yeah.
like it was clutch, man. It was like having like a relationship with bands, like hey, we're on the same like path, like we're trying to accomplish the same thing, and some bands' goals aren't necessarily yours, and vice versa. But like, if they're a serious band, and they want to play shows outside of their town, right? Just like I think like that relationship and that network and that web of
Sure.
band friends that you can always like rely on,
That's one part of the industry too, touching on that, like hasn't changed almost of what from any time 70s 80s probably to now
Totally.
is like that networking factor,
Totally.
friends, show trading, that's one thing that's kind
and
of
just being cool to
stuck
people.
the same with it. I did think of one thing which we could touch on, and it's a big variable, I know that too, based on the artists or bands, but I know this would be a good thing for bands to hear and think about, is how soon in advance you actually start thinking about with the bands and the management and the teams when you're going to book a tour, because I know that could vary from like spitball 30 days, or 60 days, 90 days, something shorter, to all the way, like I've seen 2 years sometimes. People have been like, we're playing in this arena thing in 2 years to roll out or something like that. So it's kind of neat behind the scenes to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, and it's weird because like, some things like you really don't know what's going to happen in the next year and a half, right?
Yeah.
Like as far as like maybe explode, but like, that's the thing with plans, like you can always change them, right? Mm-hmm. But I think like if I'll tell you this, as far as like misstep that I had earlier, so go back to the other question, and this is where it comes back, coming back to this other question too, but like is it's not just booking shows. Like, and so I'd say the mistake for me is like earlier on is not having like a vision. And
Sure.
like, I didn't really know what that meant when people, because I'd get these bands and they would fucking pop off and then I'd lose them, right? And like, I heard this, it's like 20 years ago, 17, 15 years ago, like, even probably more, like, not recently, but like, where like it finally like clicked in my head, because managers would be like, yeah, man, but like you just don't have a vision, and like I lose this band, like that was like fucking, like, 300 tickets, 500 tickets, 700 tickets, 1,000 tickets. You're like, dude, let's fucking go and crushing it, and then off they go, and then kept being told like I didn't have a vision. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, it's not just booking shows. It's like it's like strategic conceptualizing, right? And it's like, like where do you want it to go, right? Like so with these guys, right? Like I have it mapped out in my mind, like exactly what I want to do, right? And so like I'd say that was like a mistake. Is like not understanding like the vision, right?
Sure.
Like, what does this band want? Like what are they after? Like what's like
a big picture,
the big picture stuff,
absolutely.
and like how do I plot out from my seat? Like how do we plot out that strategy? Obviously, like you can't guarantee things are gonna happen. Like with this tour, right? And so like sometimes it's easier said than done. But like I think like putting that sentiment out there and like with the team and be like, hey, like here's what we want to do, right? And like having like this.
Every band's a little different too, right?
Sure.
Every band's got to have a different strategy, different size rooms, different plan.
Yeah. So I think like going back to like the advice thing is like the network, and plus like you just don't know like what is that saying, like seeing people on the way up and then seeing people when you seeing them on the way down.
Still
or whatever.
Treat them equal or
it's better. I mean, just the age-old thing, treat other people like you want to be treated to yourself,
100%.
It's like, so I think like, the asshole, era of people throwing shit across the room is like, doesn't solve anything.
Never. No.
No. So, but, it's like, so yeah, like the network, be cool to people and, be cool to the people at the venues too.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, those are the people who are going to be like spreading the word about you.
That's true.
Right? You go play like St. Louis and like, from Chicago or whatever, you're like, oh dude, like these dudes are awesome. Y'all can come back whenever you want. And so when you want to show there again, like, also, hey, can we open that show? Right? And the venue's like, yeah, y'all are cool. I'll hook you up.
Right.
Yeah.
That networking factor, yeah.
From your perspective, what makes a band kind of easy or hard to work with there?
Well, there, it's again like I think like every band's different, but when you trust your team, right? Sure. And bands like I guess when you're like, oh gosh, like you're so annoying, dude, and it's like but in a loving manner, you're like, dude, you're so annoying, because like they're so like micromanaging about it. It's like, dude, that's not a good idea. What you think is a good idea, right? And it's like, and the manager was like, dude, so and so, like, trust us, And it's like, oh, okay, and like letting go,
sure,
right? Let go and like just be okay with
trust your team.
Trust your team, right?
Or else there's no sense to have those people too if it's like a constant headbutt, of
like, hey, here's this venue we want to play. And it's like, dude, that band's like venue's 3,000 capacity. You're worth 600 tickets.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, it just doesn't make sense.
What kind of qualities do you look for in a band before you decide whether or not you want to work with them?
That's an interesting question, and I feel like, it depends on when in my career I would probably give you different answers, right? Just because like I'm where I sit now, like me personally, I'm not saying like our agency, but like me personally, like I have the bands I have, and I'm cool with that, and in fact probably going like lessening the amount of them, because, and I'll say this, another thing about for a mistake for agents is taking on way too many bands. That's a mistake I made earlier on, like because it was like based on volume, right? Yeah. Having all these bands, right? And it's like, no, dude,
You did have a lot of bands at one point, I
Dude.
remember.
And everyone wants
Forget
to
about
tour,
it.
right? Everyone
And everyone
wants
wants
to
to tour,
be
right?
on
And so
fucking
you
road
spread way
constantly.
too thin, and that goes back to the vision part. Like, it's you know, it's okay to not represent somebody. Like, just because you don't have to book it all.
Right.
You don't.
Seems like these days you're kind of sticking with the really heavy shit.
I mean, I have some Latin stuff too. You know,
That's
yeah.
neat.
So like, I've got like, I have like the crop of artists that I'm working with, like that are solely like under my purview. Like, you know, they're I have like, you know, a manageable amount, and
Yeah.
plus like the European ones don't always tour. You know, so it's like
Easier to flex
yeah,
working
and
with
you
that.
can plan out. And so going back to the planning part, right? We're talking about the
Sure.
timeline. It depends on who, right? So it's like, that's the vision thing. It's like, okay, cool. Like with Acid Bath, like I'm contemplating like the beginning of 2027, right? Like
Wow.
I know what we're doing.
Wow,
You know, like don't
yeah.
have it like the end of this year like exactly laid out, but like
The groundwork generalized.
the groundwork,
of it.
yeah, right. And
yeah.
so, but you know, again, it's like okay, I just refuse to put somebody out in a situation where it's like, oh yeah, this tour starts in 2 months or 6 weeks. No,
Just no time to do it right.
not doing
and
it
get
right because
prepared.
it's not going to work out. I mean, like especially I mean, if it's some shows or whatever, cool. But like, I'm not really into like.
You gotta promote it. Make sure
3,
people
4
come. Make sure everyone's
Totally,
ready.
but it's weird because like too far out is too far out too, right?
As well.
As far as announcing it, planning it's one thing, but like announcing a tour because everybody is so ADD,
Yeah.
right?
Which I've
And,
seen
like,
some announced for like a year away or something like that before. And I mean, it was a bigger legacy act or something along the
Right.
way. It made more sense, but I was still like, dude, that's a fucking
that's a
long ways
way
away.
And,
Whoa,
right, and those
like-
people that the fan base might have to plan, right, or whatever.
True, though, yeah.
But it's like you know, it's like okay, cool. Like let's throw a band, and I'm not saying this because it's a band that by any. I don't actually let me make up something like so. Home Light Chainsaw
Yeah,
Band,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
don't want to say anybody's specific.
Right.
So Home Light Chainsaw Band, right? It's like on tour, wants to go on tour, but and they're fucking they're popping off, right? They're having their moment, right?
Right.
And it's like, let's do it right, you know, because you want to make sure all
Yeah,
of the
take the
marketing
time.
stuff is all set, especially in like a critical point where it's like you want it to go up, right? And so like a misstep is a big misstep, right? So it's like making sure like all of the marketing is micromanaged, right? And marketing people like, you know, at venues, like they have their marketing plan and it's like infrequently
Right.
they don't have it all done.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what happened to this? You know, so like it takes time, right? And there's you know, effort and
Yeah.
attention to like the detail. You have to make sure like Home Light Chainsaws shit, and also like what's the lineup?
That too.
Because other
yeah.
bands are booked.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna bring up. Is I mean, in the early Genty days, metalcore days, and things like that. 2 packages used to often have 5 bands, 6
bands.
bands, stuff
Yeah,
like that,
totally.
rocking packages and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's definitely been a changed thing now too. It's usually like a 3 make more sense
Yeah.
on packages and things like that. But
Yeah.
those were different days, but cool packages.
Remember that?
that
It was like 6, 7 bands.
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean, you
5.
guys
Like 5 was standard.
made some of the sickest tours.
Yeah, but like you think about the catering on that sucks.
Oh,
you know?
I can imagine.
Right.
Or gear everywhere, people everywhere.
Okay, it's cool.
So, what was the most difficult tour that you've ever put together? What were you just absolutely pulling your hair out over? Like, is this gonna happen? Is this not gonna happen?
I did a tour for that black metal band Mayhem.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have Marduk on it, which was like at the time they had never been here before.
Oh wow, okay.
And they didn't make it.
Visas,
And like
travel,
visa stuff,
yeah, of
visa
course.
stress stuff, like all of that junk. And like at that time too, I was like, oh, I have to be involved in the visa process. And it's like that's another thing too. Like, don't put yourself into shit that's not you for it to be put into.
Right.
Right.
That's a good
You're
one.
a booking agent. Like you can connect dots and provide things that you need to provide, but you're not
Sure.
the visa guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the tour bus guy. Don't get a bus for somebody or a vehicle or anything. Like stay in your fucking lane.
Smart. Yeah.
You know?
That's.
But so that was a very difficult tour.
Oh man, I could imagine.
When was that? A while ago.
2001 or something. It was a long time
while
ago.
ago. Yeah.
But and then like dealing with like, okay, the main support band Marduk was supposed to be here, and that was a key part of the package, right?
Sure.
And we were like, everybody wants a reduction because like this band's not here. You're like, oh my god, dude. Yeah.
Right.
Nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's.
What led you to the decision to start your own agency with 33 and West with JJ, right? You two
Yeah,
were the
JJ and
solar.
Matt Pike. Yeah.
And Matt, right?
Matt, okay.
Yeah.
I think like we had Matt was standing because he had only worked for somebody else once, but I think like agencies were getting gobbled up by like UTA and what have you, which is great, but those facilities aren't for everyone, and they're not for every artist, and they're not for every agent too, right? And so I feel like the ability to make our own decisions, right? Because like when you work for someone else and these ideas you have to ask for permission,
Chain, get
right?
approval.
And instead, so like I feel like being able to like sign whoever we want, right? Or try different concepts whenever we want, and if they don't work, that's our own doing. But like, if we win, then it's on.
It's you too.
It's yours too.
Yeah.
Right.
It comes like full circle though, from like starting kind of DIY. We all
Totally.
start DIY,
Yeah.
learn our way, learn the ropes, get the corporate sides in or whatever sometimes and stuff, and then kind of circle back around to that where
What do you think
we've
the
learned
biggest
now?
risk was going out on your own? Because before you worked for a bigger agency, right? You were at United, or where were you at before?
I went the agency group.
Agency.
And then that got bought by ETA. Then I went to Circle. Then that got bought by ETA.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then we were like,
jeez.
the three of us were like, all right, let's go do our own
Right,
thing.
no, we're by.
Right.
So what do you think the biggest risk of going out on your own was from those other bigger guys?
I mean, like when you start your own
Starting
thing,
new.
like people are like the protection. I think right from like
Do we let them in? Type of a
poachers and stuff like that.
thing? Yeah.
But at the same token, most bands that you've been with, like some of the acts of, Sammy from Acid Bath, we've been working together for 18 years, right? And like
Right. So
NAPALM DEATH I've been with for like 15. Max CAVALERA I've been with for like 15 years, and it's like we're
becomes like a family-ish
100%
relationship.
making care
for
less
sure.
if I'm in my
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
underwear on the couch, right?
No,
It doesn't
right,
matter, right? But which I think we're gonna do that now, right? So it's I think like just like exposure, right? Like being like vulnerable, but and also it's financially risky too. Like we didn't have any investors or anything like that. It was like literally was like
This has to work.
JJ's apartment complex, conference room with 2 assistants that we were like, just gotta ride with us, dude.
That's cool.
like we'll pay. You
did it.
You'll get a salary, but like
Yeah.
you're just gonna have to hold on a hot minute, right?
We gotta get it going.
Yeah. And they didn't have any other. They're like, all right, cool. Like that or no job, I guess.
Right. That shit's inspiring. I love hearing those stories. Though. That's
It really
cool.
is. That's why I like to ask about the beginning and just see kind of how it started. And
I mean, like you guys know, it's like just like instinctually, like if you feel like you need to like just jump and just jump,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
And it's scary, but like also it's really fulfilling too.
That's true though.
And the thing is, if you fuck it up, like it's not the end of the world,
As well, yeah.
It's
a learning experience, like you say. Everything.
Yeah.
You learn what not to do. Hopefully,
I
the
think
next
like
time.
that's the other thing too. Like I think like something to talk about. I'm sorry for rambling, but like it crosses like into different relationships of your life, whether it's your friends or your girlfriend or your family or boyfriend or whatever the case might be. It's like communicating,
Yeah.
right?
it's key.
Is key, and like so if people know what you're doing, like especially like your
Yeah.
life partner or whatever the situation is, it's like,
Of
hey,
course.
like converse about it and be like, I want to do this, and but like, if it doesn't work, what's our like
Kind of plan. Be back.
plan?
Yeah.
Totally. But if it works, then hey,
Right. Then we're fucking rocking.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, and coming back to like experience, it's not like usually just diving in blindly. Well, I mean, everybody's different of where they start
Right.
and do all that stuff. But
Well, you're not gonna
it's,
jump into something that you don't like have like some kind of like basis of like what you're doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
What's one unexpected artist success story that you saw firsthand?
Unexpected. I mean, I don't know about unexpected.
Maybe expected even.
Yeah.
I mean, what,
This acid bath.
That's a good.
more on unexpected or expected?
I mean, we knew it was a thing, but we didn't know it was a thing, right?
Yeah.
for me, it was pretty unexpected. I didn't think it would ever happen again. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you talk
well,
to us
in that
about
regard,
that
too.
as far as getting the reunion back together again. What was involved there?
Same reaction.
So, like I said, like Sammy and I have been working together when he was in Goat Whore for like 18 years, right? And
Wow.
Yeah.
you know, and every couple of years, somebody would be like, "Hey, Dan, here's an offer for Acid Bath reunion," and so
One
like,
of
"All
those,
right, let me go talk to Dax." And then so we get on the phone, and Dax would be like, "No, hey man, I appreciate it." And he was always very nice. It's just not, you know, something
Just doesn't
I'm
make sense,
feeling
right?
anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay, cool. It's like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 years go by. There were several of them, and then I got this offer from Sick New World, right? And
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
called
It was.
Sam. I'm like, "Hey, we have this offer. It's kind of ridiculous, right?"
Got to play this shit.
But after I called him, he was like, "Well, I just talked to Dax," and he was like, "Dax was like, I think we should play some shows." So it was like weird, like lightning in the
Just so
bottle.
happened
Just
to
timing
work.
up.
It was like the universe.
Everybody was ready at that moment.
The
yeah.
universe was going like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And like the offer I had was without him actually. So like
Without Dax?
yeah, so because there was like rumblings of like sort of like this Acid Bath tribute band, but with Mike and Dax in it. I'm sorry, Mike and Sammy, and but then it turns out he wanted to do it. So it's we did that, and then
So offer goes up, right?
yeah,
If it wasn't without, or if it was out without
yeah,
Dax
it,
before,
like, it was
right?
like doubled, you know,
Yeah,
basically.
has to be.
And so, yeah, then we're like, okay, you know, have to play New Orleans again
Yeah,
at first,
hometown.
right? And so, the story with that one is
Sold out in seconds.
Yeah, so it was at the Fillmore with in New Orleans, excuse me, and I realized on fucking Friday, like we were supposed to go announce on the Monday or whatever, and I was like, David Magazine, the guy, the promoter, like, dude, we totally fucked up. Like Tuesday is election day. Like this is like
Oh wow.
it was.
Worst timing.
I'm like, we're gonna get crushed, right? And he goes, "Do you want to go up now?" And I'm
Put
like,
it up.
okay. So there's like noon or whatever on Friday,
Wow.
you know, October or November 1st, whatever the date, like, you know, the Friday before
Yeah,
election
not
day,
long.
and before election Tuesday, and sold out like 8 minutes. And
Yeah.
he just sent me a
Holy
ticket
shit.
link, right? Put it up. There was no marketing dollars.
Wow.
And they're like, "You want to do another one?" So we called the guys, figured out what day it was, and then like at 5 p.m. or 3 p.m. Pacific, I got another link and threw it up on the internet and sold in like 12 minutes. It was crazy. We were like, we could do like 7 of these. It was kind of nuts.
How many did you end up doing? 2 or 3?
Just 2.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Leave the people
like,
wanting more.
okay, that's Louisiana, but like, what about everywhere else, right? So called my friend Luke at Live Nation in LA, and he was like, "No, do the you know." It bothered me. I'm like, "Where do we do this in Los Angeles?" I'm like, you know, because we didn't know. We're like, it's 1,000 people. I don't know, or is it like whatever? And just think like. It was really bugging me. I didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Shan in my office. He's like, "Dude, just fucking go for it." You know, Palladium, right? And so I called Luke at Live Nation. He's like, "Oh yeah, Palladium." Like he was already feeling it, right?
Wow.
And so we put that one up, and it sold in like an hour and a half. So it sold 3,700 tickets in an hour and a half.
Damn.
Added a second one, and then we're like, okay, but that's LA. What about everywhere else? You know, it's like because you're like you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like because it's Los Angeles, of course, right?
It's a big market.
And then so we go to New York. Actually, we did Chicago first, and then that one sold out in 3,300 tickets in like an hour and a half, and then New York sold out 2,700 tickets on the artist pre-sale.
Wow.
And then added a second one. It's like we knew it was a thing. We knew it was a thing. Right?
How do you think that thing happened? Because, so, when I was a kid, Acid Bath would play with my brother's band, Acid Bath, and then later Agents of Oblivion would play with my brother's band around here. And they would do like 200-300 people shows, right?
That's about as big as they were.
And then they break up, and then 20 years later, here we are.
It's
Whatever it's
that
been.
legacy.
30?
30, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. January 1997 is when that's
Exactly.
right,
So what changed? How did we get here? What?
I don't know, and it's like one of those things that doesn't happen very often at all, and they don't even realize how big their band is. Like they just don't understand it.
It's almost
I
like
think
that.
they kind of know, but like they don't really know, right? And it's I don't know, like cult. I mean,
That's
it's
what I
a
was gonna say.
really,
It's like an
really,
underground
really,
cult,
really, really,
like-
really fucking good band. There's that, and like there weren't like anything else, right? You know, it's like kind of grungy. It's Alice in Chains and Black Sabbath mixed with like,
Right.
you know, some punk shit but also folky stuff too,
Sure.
right? I don't know. It's
it wasn't
hauntingly
oversaturated
beautiful,
with
right? Hauntingly beautiful. I think
music.
it's right.
That's a great description.
Yeah.
But
So
you're right. There's nothing else like it. It's like, man, a band that breaks up
they're a
and then
bands
30
band
years
there,
later,
too.
now they're fucking huge.
it's nuts. Yeah, and it's like, and lyrically, like, you know, it taps into like, you know, the 16-year-old goth girl vibe
For
too,
sure.
You know,
Yeah, the
so
scene
like,
girls, yeah.
you know, but yeah, man, and it's crazy because like, you know, that's the thing though, dude. Like 70% of like this on Spotify, 70% of the crowd of the listening is under 35 years old.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
It's even like cultural,
wild, dude.
like with
what the hell?
and the crowd's like they're minimally half girls, right? So it's like,
sweet. Yeah.
yeah, it's wild, man.
That's
I feel
crazy.
so good
That
for them.
shirt,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, no, it's great
so
to see.
fucking,
When the
like-
kite string pops, is that what it is with the pogo clown?
Yeah.
Like, that's like a legendary shirt, though. Even like when there's people that have that shit that probably don't even, you know, maybe know the band. It's almost
Yeah,
like
just more like a clothing line.
Yeah, and even that I saw like all through,
Yeah.
you know, just, it was like a legacy, you know, underground cool thing.
Yeah,
So it's
then
neat
you
to
know it doesn't hurt that you have like bands that like for like, oh yeah, it's our favorite band of all time. You know, like System of a Down. You know,
Nice.
like they've been like the nicest team ever.
That's really
Like,
cool.
They're taking them to Europe for the first time ever. You know?
System of a Down taking
Wow.
Acid Bath to Europe?
Yeah, this summer.
That's
It's
gonna be
System of a Down,
crazy.
Queens of the Stone Age, and Acid Bath.
Do we have to cut that? Is that not announced?
No, it's announced and sold out
Oh, wow.
It's announced? I didn't
That's
know that.
crazy.
I've never heard that.
in Europe.
So
And,
sick.
yeah, and it's like, you know, they're like, well, we need, you know, so and so, and they're like, we're gonna carry all your gear for you. Don't even
Yeah,
worry
take
about
care
it.
of you.
Like, they're so like kind, and it's like, they're like, no, like literally, we're freaking out that you guys are coming on tour with us. Like,
Damn.
like they're,
Damn.
they're like bands that are fans of them. It's
That's
cool.
really cool.
Very cool. Have you ever passed on an artist early on that later blew up?
Yeah, Hawthorne Heights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ohio boys.
Yeah, they are actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget about that.
There's a few of them up there. I'm
No,
like,
of course.
you know, like shit.
What's the biggest regret? If you want to put that out there.
I don't have a regret.
Same
Not
everything's
one that's
like
just like,
learning.
God damn it, I
No,
wish.
I mean mistakes are mistakes, and like you know,
Sure.
like things that
You
you
learn
pass
from
mis-
them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and actually, like Baroness they were friends of ours. Like that, I think that's one. Like they're like, dude, Dan, please come see your band. Please come see your band. And like, I like for whatever reason, like I couldn't go like 7 times in a row, and then
Yeah.
but like we're buds out, still friends. That's cool.
So if a new band wanted to get on your radar today, I know you said you're kind of slimming down the roster, but hypothetically, if you were taking on new bands, what would they have to do or be doing right to get on your radar?
Do like be DIY touring, like as in like booking it themselves, and 'cause,
Fan
like,
base.
you don't even need a label really per se. Like you just
Yeah.
need label services. Like so, if you're
Of course.
promoting your band, you know, within your capabilities and the tools that you have at your disposal, right, and just being sharp and be like, cool. I know what I like. Bands have to have a vision too. Like,
Yeah.
what band? Who are we? Right.
Right.
Their own identity
true.
and be like, I know like what I want to do. Like my own band. Right.
Right,
So,
a good
cool.
vision of where.
Yeah.
But where are you taking it?
A
Where are you
little
taking it?
question of that is, because this is something I touch on in the management side like all the time, is so you as the agent speak on it. Do you go necessarily your first thing and check their Spotify numbers, and is that what makes any kind of a decision for you? Obviously you have to enjoy what you see or whatever, but are you like, if I'm like, hey, check out this fucking band that I really love or whatever, is the first thing or something you do, Spotify, oh, they only have 10,000 monthlies, I'm not fucking booking them then, because that's something to me, it loses our discovery, you know, about it. I mean,
Totally.
it's one of
Yeah.
those weird things, but it is
Yeah.
something I've been told on the business side quite often. Oh, if they don't have this amount or whatever. So
mean,
maybe touch on that.
It's like, you know, that's like a metric of like, you know, popularity, obviously. Like,
Sure.
and it's, you know, and it's not unknown to anybody that like
People check.
building a band is like the hardest thing. Like
Sure.
booking bigger bands is easy. You know, it
established.
has its own set of difficulties, right? Obviously, right? And things that you don't necessarily even think about on a younger developing band's stage. But like exposure and getting tours and like getting this band that is just beginning, right? But they're really fucking good. And it's like you just gotta get them out there, right? But then it's like you don't want to like burn this band out, but like I don't know. I would. Yeah, it's tough, but I'll say that like we've signed some bands that like this, like you're saying, like plays are low, but like promoters are going like, yo, dude, like damn, this band's or JJ or whatever,
Still
this band's
something's
fucking
connecting.
smoking. Like you guys have to check this out, and like they're unsigned or whatever, and you keep an eye on it and you talk to them and be like, cool, and then you throw them on a tour, and see what happens too, right? Because like when you're able to like test it out, be like, cool, let's throw this unsigned band. They're having like. It's a little rumble.
Proof in the concept then of them getting out. Like that Silly Goose, those guys are a sweet band that like went DIY, fucking sick band.
The coolest.
Yeah. I love seeing them.
We're just gonna play outside.
It was rad. It was
we were
so
in
rad,
incarceration. All of a sudden, we were on the one stage, and it's like, oh,
They
this
rocked
band
to
played the
them.
parking lot last night, and Danny Wimmer wants to put them on the fest now. So
Yeah.
It was neat to see.
And how many fucking tours and festivals they would follow other tours and just play outside.
yeah, I
And
saw
just
them.
rock
They were
it.
following the Highly Suspect tour.
Yeah.
And just playing outside every day.
Bravo! Like
Right,
that's
right.
that's
Yeah.
vision and fucking and initiative, dude.
I was like,
Vision,
that's fucking
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you're just gonna go do this.
They're
And,
getting arrested. They're like, don't care. We're playing BP tomorrow.
yeah,
That's neat. That's the
yeah,
cool,
right. Like that's like if you could
cool era of doing. That was fun coming up,
Yeah.
like playing those type of basements, anywhere,
Totally.
backyards.
The Denny's
fucking-
or
Yeah,
whatever.
anywhere
Yeah.
possible. It was
Yeah.
fun.
totally.
That's cool.
Kind of a fun random question though, but who do you think, or I mean, if you don't want to name them, is fine. But who has the biggest ego that you've ever had to deal with when booking bands?
Like as far as another agent or like
No, band members. Well, agent too, maybe if you feel you need to call someone out, but you don't have to
biggest
do that.
ego.
But
I don't know. I
like
don't
a
wanna
just
throw
like
in
I don't
fun
know.
ego stories, I like.
Yeah, that's
I don't know about ego stories, but like I have other crazy stories though. Yeah.
Let's hear one. Hit me.
Yeah, like so Watain.
Yeah, we were talking
I was
about
gonna say
Watain on the last pod with Chris.
Oh, okay. Cool.
About one of the times I walked in the basement of Peabody's when they're doing like it was like
blood ritual.
blood ritual. There was tarps on the floor covered in blood, pig head. It was
Yeah.
the wildest thing I ever walked into, I think, in my life.
So when they had done like a small van tour first, and then like I ended up signing them, and we did like full proper. We did a few of them like on the first two albums, and it was really fun. That was difficult, but like, obviously goes without saying. Like everybody's like, "What the fuck is a stench of rotten shit in my fucking venue?"
Yeah, dude.
And those dudes like they'd have cuts on their hands and stuff, like like putting the pigs on the stake on the spikes and stuff.
Wow.
And like one dude had his guy's fucking arm infected, like up his veins, and they were like, if you didn't come now, you would have had to cut your arm off, kind of stuff.
Whoa.
But like, so I hopped.
Why are you doing that? Guys.
On their first tour, like I hopped into the bus with them for like 4 days, and the tour manager like
No way.
Yeah,
and you get used to this weird like stench like rotting.
something's off.
Yeah, and the tour manager would be like, he's just having this big smile on his face. He's like, "Dan, it smells like chocolate," And I'm like, "It does not smell like chocolate." But so anyway, the story is like we were in Tampa, like what was the Brass Mug maybe, and like
Definitely
that venue
remember
didn't
that.
give a shit. But like I'm watching the show and there are people walking outside of the door and like out front into the parking lot or on the sidewalk and just vomiting.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
From like the blood or the smell.
The smell, yeah.
I would be the guy vomiting.
There's like people are like they're like they couldn't hold it anymore. They're like, ugh, ugh. And then they're like right outside the venue go, "Bleh," and just fucking
I
puke.
went down. I was just like
how you
wandering
remember
down the
your
basement
show.
of Peabody's. Like, oh god! Turned around immediately. Like, nope, I'm not supposed to be here.
It's making me gag just thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, not good, bro.
Yeah.
That's true.
But like
to
they
the,
had a bunch of stories that were fun. Like like that was a really freaking cool experience. Like and like they're like those two albums, like the first two records were so fucking good, man.
Yeah, that's heavy.
They
that
summon
band
the dark
rules.
powers.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
They're very heavy. How often do you get to fly out and see your bands on tour?
I'm perpetually on tour with Acid Bath. So
Yeah?
I go to all of them. Yeah. They're When these shows are all like they're what Weekend Warrior stuff, you know.
Right, get out.
Done that way because Dax is like, hey man, when people waited 30 years to see our band, I want to make sure my voice is great for every single one of them, so he doesn't want to strain it, right? So, I can't. I respect that. But then they're like, well, you made this happen, so you have to go to all the shows, and so like I'm in the crew and
that's cool though.
Yeah.
Get to be there, be a part of it all. Check out the venues and shake the hands and stuff.
Totally,
too, which is fun
and do this.
Network.
You know,
Right. We appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it too, and you know, got to see you guys too. And it's like, so in one of these other cities where like you know, promoters that maybe not hadn't necessarily met in person or whatever, or ones that I've known for 25 years or whatever the case might be, but you know, like Brooklyn was at the Brooklyn Paramount, and so like you know, which is like they're relatively new for Live Nation, and it's stunning. Venue. Like it's ridiculous. And so we did 2 shows there, and it was cool to see that, and like, you know, like just you know the staff and production people and like what have you, like that we've been on emails with, and it's cool to see people in person, and that goes back to the networking thing as well. So, you know, so I do stuff. You know?
That's
but also like strategizing what's next too. Like in Denver, we're like, okay, cool, sold out the Fillmore. Like, what do you want to do next? It's like, let's fucking go to Red Rocks or whatever.
Yeah,
you know? So
that's
like,
sick.
Me going also like fosters like the next moves too, right?
Really smart.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, what do you think the hardest part of your job is? Is it just overall mapping the tour that makes sense, or is it the financial side with the overall cost of touring being so expensive?
The hardest part of I'd say like managing expectations and navigating what's real as far as guarantees are concerned versus what a band thinks they should get, and sometimes they're correct and sometimes they're not, right? And sometimes the agent's wrong, right? That happens too, where it's like, oh, like we could have been
made more here.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, well, and also knowing like, hey, actually, if we do a door deal, you'll make way more money, and just having a band understand that, right? It's like, do you have the nuts or do you not, right? And if you know you're
believe in yourself,
believe in yourself, right?
It's
been cool,
right?
Like, you know, it's a little bit of a risk, right?
Sure.
Like, but if you know, like, okay, you know, data shows that like you can do this many people in the earliest places or whatever, you know, and it's like, you know what? Let's just do
take the deal
door
and win.
split, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the last question for me is, it's like, who do you think the most famous band you've worked with is, and some of your favorites to work with?
Yeah.
I fortunately and gratefully am in this juncture where I have like all the bands that I work with. They say thank you, and
that's nice.
Love them all. Right.
That's probably why they're still there.
Yeah, and it's like, and I'll crush it for you. I don't care if you make $1,000 a show, right, or whatever.
No.
Like, I'll fight for you because you're appreciative, right? So like that goes such a long way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think like the ones that I've been fortunate to have a situation where, we respect each other, and like we're in this together. It's been like most of them. It's been like a long time, right?
Yeah.
So that's what was the question?
Favorite bands.
Favorite.
Bands to work with, and the most famous that you thought. Just kind of let people know.
Most famous, I mean, at this juncture is Acid Bath, right?
Yeah.
Most famous, we were representing Kanye West at one point.
Oh wow!
For a year and a half or something.
Wow!
How was that?
Yeah.
I didn't deal with him at all. Right?
No.
I can imagine that's unique.
Was that a JJ thing or?
Daniel and JJ
nice.
in McCartney.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean.
What year was that?
Last year and then the year before that, right? So like in
a couple years back, yeah.
Before he had another psychotic episode, right?
He
was doing so well.
Right, I was gonna say the usual Kanye.
He was just crazy. Quiet, right?
Most artists are a little crazy, I think.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know what? Like it's he's going around making his amends and stuff right now. So like I don't know.
Is he good? Well,
could be on the come
maybe
up.
we'll get it together again. Maybe,
yeah,
number one.
Totally. Yeah, but
I doubt it.
yeah, I'd say like at this juncture. And then we had a Latin artist that was doing like arenas everywhere called Santa Fe Clan.
That's neat too.
He's on a pause right now, but when he comes back. I think next year,
Yeah.
maybe later this year. But yeah, so that was cool. That was my first headline show at Red Rocks that I ever did.
Wow.
Sold that out. Yeah, so I mean, that was cool. Like having those artists doing like 5,000, 9,000, 11,000 tickets everywhere.
Sure.
Like we played at Allstate Arena in Chicago. Sold out like 11,000 tickets. We're like, what the fuck?
That's
What's going
so
on here?
cool.
Dude, that's the Latin artist?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one that we like. It was like not. I don't want to say surprise, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about like.
It just took you by, so you're like, I didn't think
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Like we
Yeah.
put it in like
That's fucking
Fillmore's
crazy.
and House of Blues is the first tour. Like it was just like a nine-day thing, and it sold out like immediately.
venue,
And
yeah.
the manager was like, "I told you we were gonna need a bigger venue." We're like, okay, well,
fucking sick.
But that's the other thing too is like meeting your expectations. And be like, cool, it's okay to like create a story where it's like it's almost if you don't know and
yeah.
having it be sold out so fast.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the
nobody's
story
gonna
for
argue
sure.
with that, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
great.
right.
And it creates a demand for future, too. I think people
Straight
are just
up.
like,
Yeah.
fuck, that sold out in 2 minutes last time. Let me get them now.
Right, I
So you're
need
gonna do
that,
2
yeah.
days or 3 days. And
Right.
The
That's
same venue.
That's the
right?
thing though too. Like when it's like as far as like a vision, it's like, well, in some cases it's okay to play a show and have it be sold out in a day, right? Knowing that you could have done way more tickets, right? Like
Yeah.
this show at the Gora, like sold out in a day, right?
Yeah.
And it's like could have done more, but like that's okay.
Or another night. But
Or
we'll be
yeah,
back.
another night or whatever, right? And it's like, well, that's all right because
Next time in Cleveland, you could do Jacobs at 5,000 or,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Totally.
2 nights. Or,
and that's also scary too. Like, well, can you repeat it, right? And then like.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I love lineup curation and like the lineups is like people don't understand the value of support,
Sure.
especially now. It's just because like everybody has like all these choices of shows to go to. It's like, so what makes it have the holy shit factor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
That
still
you make
attend.
that show undeniable and pick that one. I'm gonna spend my $60
Yeah.
on that instead of anything else, right?
Sure.
So
Especially with the festival competitions and all those
Totally.
things too.
Yeah,
That,
right.
So
that,
tough.
that hit
Yeah.
with it. But
Well, I think that's it for me. I really
yeah, man.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much for being on. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
you
it,
guys
dude.
rock.
But Chris Brown, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm
This
honored
was
that you
fun
asked me.
time.
I love it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Awesome.
Peace.